This is not a podcast to just get you motivated and inspired. This podcast comes with the sole purpose to discuss strategies that we can all implement into our business right now that can increase how much money we earn. We'll hear from successful business people about marketing, sales, recruitment, training and mindset, the key principles to grow a business, make it recession proof and thrive in today's business world. Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Weekly Business Talk. This is a bit of a Saturday special today, so no in the studio professional audio equipment with the assistance of Fred making it sound and come across perfectly well. We are currently, I am watching my son, and it is Saturday morning. It is a beautiful morning, so the sun is out and I'm down watching him play football, and I thought I would take 10 minutes out just to share with you a thought, something that's been on my mind the last few days about, and it really stemmed from something that I'd actually seen on YouTube, the amount of people talking about the worrying about what others think about them and what it does to them. So apologies if you hear there's a bit of a construction site going on behind me. They're building. See, this is the thing, they're talking about a credit crunch and they're talking about, tough. There is currently a new Hilton by Hamptons. Is it Hamptons by Hilton? Hilton by Hamptons? Hotel getting built behind me, just at the race course at Hamilton. And so there's a bit of banging and cars driving by, so apologies if you can hear some of that there in the wind, although it's like I say, such a good day that there's very little wind actually. But I just wanted to share, I've been looking online and a lot of people talking about, worried about what other people are thinking about them and how it almost paralyses them to actually then go and doing things that they dream about and, things that they aspire to do and goals that they set, even stops people sharing their goals because they're worried that people might judge them. The fear of judgment is a big problem for society nowadays, and I think it's happening to the younger and younger generations, and I am fearful that unless there is a lot of people pushing some incredibly powerful stuff out there, and there's a lot of young people doing incredible things, of course there is, and people of all ages doing incredible things. But I do feel that, particularly maybe in schools, and I'm saying that not really knowing if in high schools they do work on this, but the fear of judgment, the fear of fitting in is paralysing people, and it paralyses us business owners and entrepreneurs and people that are looking to, nowadays there is a big thing. So I am just pure hobbyist when it comes to business, as well as it is my professional serious career, but just for fun I like to analyse businesses. And we're constantly told that we need to get more socially active with regards to social media channels. Now, whether it be Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, etc., it starts out that people seem to be much more comfortable sharing a post, a picture, a meme, a bit of written content, writing a blog article, etc. But we do not like we do not, one, because we don't like our own voice, and two, because we're worried what others may say when we put ourselves out there on video, particularly video, but probably closely after audio as well. And we're so scared about doing it often. I say we've all probably been there. Some of us now are better at it than others. We are certainly better at it than we probably were when we first started. But it is true that we do need to be consciously aware of social media channels now. It is the medium of choice nowadays to communicate with people, and so if we don't get good at it, then we risk the fact that our businesses may suffer. And so this is for the people, if you struggle with it, this is a story I want to share with yourselves about how I overcame the kind of social media anxiety. And second of all, if you are really killing it, it's a bit of a well done, because It's not easy to start with, but it certainly gets much easier, and the more you do it, the better you get. There's no secret. It's like anything else. It's the same way that you probably became excellent at your craft. You studied it, you had a passion for it, a light for it, you then done more studying, you put it into practice, you trained on it, and all of a sudden, and it's just amazing how that stuff works, isn't it? The more you do it, the better you get. And it's the same with social media. So first of all, let me share the story, and I can literally remember where it was, to this day, and I'm going back, 10 years ago. But maybe not quite 10 years ago, but a number of years ago. I was never for Facebook, Instagram wasn't even around then, and really the it was either Facebook and some other ones that probably aren't around any longer, but Twitter was the first kind of social media, and I refrained right into my early 20s purely because I thought, this is just for socialising and watching people, eat their dinner and post their family snaps, and I may be a bit of a bore, but I wasn't interested in that. I was a serious businessman, and I'm not interested in that. And of course, through time, I realised, well, if you want to get on Facebook from a business perspective, you need to have a personal profile, and so it kind of grew thereafter. But I posted in my naivety to a celebrity, super celebrity, even recently for the last few years, even more so. And I was actually not even going to discuss the actual story of it, but I think, what the hell not, this is all part of doing those things that you feel a bit uncomfortable with. But I actually was in the energy sector. I was a big fan of renewable energy products, and Donald Trump was obviously disputing the fact that wind turbines were being built up in Aberdeen next to his lovely golf course, and it would ruin the view and the community and all these types of things, and doing his usual. And I tweeted Donald Trump. Okay, he wasn't president then, but he was still as controversial and sort of vastly followed as he is now, and with millions of people. And of course, he was never going to see my little tweet from Scott all the way over in East Kilbride in Scotland. The chances of seeing that would be there would be more chance of old Donald telling the truth for a day than him seeing me sending that tweet. And so that was that. I never got a tweet back, obviously, and a couple of days later, a week later, time passes. I don't remember how long it was, but I remember a friend, and he is a friend, but he was teasing me about, made a comment, I can't say teasing, he made a comment about me tweeting Donald Trump and having a laugh about it. And obviously there was some sort of, I dare say, wasn't alone maybe in that, and I think back now it was a bit daft, but there you go. When you were learning new technology or a new platform, they had been into Twitter and kept in touch through Twitter and shared a lot of what teenagers and early 20-year-old guys would share, and here's me tweeting Donald Trump about serious business stuff, and so they took the piss a bit, and I laughed along and sniggered along. But what it actually did do was it drove me into a immediate anxiety. Subconsciously, I mean, I can only now, when I sort of reflect back on it, actually realise what it was, but it drove me into a sort of what I can only describe as a social media anxiety. It was something I wanted to do, but I was too worried about what others might think about me. And so therefore I didn't. I very, very, very rarely ever shared anything on social media. And it was only a few years ago that I just seen the sort of importance of social media, and I just felt slightly sort of suffocated because I didn't have that chance to share my views through various channels, and I just felt like I was a bit suffocated, and so I had this long desire, but meanwhile I was fighting with myself in terms of not being able to sort of say what I wanted to, because I was sort of suppressed by these concerns. And then I went on with my NLP course. So that sat with me for years, by the way. I mean, that sat with me for years. And although it sat with me for years, it was only when I went on the NLP course did I actually... One of the things they talked about was, overcoming something that's kind of really, made you stuck for a long time, and just immediately that came to me, and I shared that, going on video and sharing my views social media wise was something we had to do. And then, it was only through that process, through the NLP course, I was actually able to overcome those concerns. So I sat with it. Well, sorry, let me rephrase that. I never overcame it by any means, but what it did is it made me have an attitude of, stuff it, I'm going to try it. And it was deeply embarrassing and awkward trying it. And then it got a bit easier, and a bit easier, and a bit easier. So after trying it a number of different times, in various small different ways, it became easier. And I think that's the biggest thing for when people don't go to do it, is that they just don't get started. They're just too worried about what other folk might actually think and say, so they just don't start. And actually they'll find out when they get started, it's much easier to actually do than they thought it was. And there's really these... in the way I kind of brought it down, there was only these three different types of people. Right, okay, that's fine. So apologies if you heard a little cut there in the audio there. That was someone coming up while I was recording the podcast and asking me a question and kind of flung me off. And there's a typical example of... although I have recorded podcasts now and been on video and things of that nature, far from perfect, still far from perfect. So apologies if that kind of jumps and I kind of go off elsewhere from what I was talking about, but really I wanted to I like to try and provide some tactical things I have summarised, and so maybe that little break there has got sort of kicked me up the backside to say, come on Scott, get to the point. I've shared my concerns, I've told you the story why, because even as we grow up as children, we're constantly aware that other people's opinions matter. Our parents go to parents' night, speak to the teacher, and we can see that when the teacher says, oh, they've been really great, they've done this, they do the homework, they listen, they don't misbehave, and you see your parent. I've done it myself, and I've thought about it, and I've seen my son all happy because he sees, and that is conditioning my son that my parents even are suggesting or showing signs that someone else's opinion it matters, and if that in a negative sense, because when you accept it as in a positive sense, it also means that it must be true in a negative sense, particularly to a child. And as we're all aware, we are conditioned as we grow up, and these things stick to us, these anxieties and difficulties stick with us. Particularly when you go to high school and you become a young adult, again with social media. Kids are if they get a post, if they put a post on Instagram, they don't get enough likes for that, then they'll delete it. I mean, people's self-esteem is being absolutely wrecked because of social media. But likewise, it is also an incredible tool to do good with. Now, whether good be charity, business, social media, sort of influence, you name it, but it's there. It can, as much as it can, rip things down and cause problems and cause anxieties and stresses, it can also be doing incredibly remarkable things. So social media is not all bad. But as I was saying, I had this longing to do something which was video. I don't actually know why, apart from it being cool. I thought I would I like watching other folk do it. maybe I can show them some of my life and it'll be interesting to some, and I slowly pulled through that fear after being on that NLP course, and it was a gradual thing. But just to be honest, it's not totally cured even to this day. I mean, I still feel uneasy at times. I mean, I get followed by a camera for the vlog and I still feel uneasy at times. It's not totally cured. Because people stare. And although comments like, I hate your accent, it's scammer selling a course, or I'm uneducated, which to be fair may be accurate, with regards to the uneducated part, blah blah blah, you know, I don't actually give a shit about that. But self-esteem for most people is an absolute wreck, and it shouldn't be. You need to be strong within yourself and confident. Know that we all have faults. You know, even the people judging have self-esteem issues. And how many celebrities do you see that have incredible lives, and then the following week they're going into rehab? We are all human with human problems. And it's kind of weird. After I started to do more video and audio work around my business and show my life, it really was weird, because I was trying a few new things, and people started to reach out and say I like it and ask me questions and want to meet up. I mean, I've had people like old friends that I've reconnected with, teachers, and just random folk in the street. People reaching out that I've been to networking events now, and people come up to me and saying, I recognise your face. Do you do like videos and stuff online? And they're okay. Listen, I ain't no celebrity by any means, so I don't mind them not really knowing. But people are actually recognising and seeing at networking events, and that starts. That's a great way for networking. So that's one of the reasons I started and wanted to do it, is to meet people and to build relationships, knowing that in business that is crucial. But don't be paralysed with others' opinions. So these tactile things I want you just to consider is this, because I kind of try to logically explain it to myself, almost acting like the third person, and try to, you know, look at it from the both sides of it. And in my mind, there is three different types of people. The first people are the people who judge, the people that actually judge and make comments, and, you know, or even privately make comments. They actually don't fucking matter. But they are the people that judge. Then the second people, you have the people that really don't give a shit. I mean, there's some people out there that don't care what you're doing, when you're doing it, how you're doing it. They'll walk by you, you've got a camera, you're recording a podcast, whatever, they don't care. And then you have the third people who are actually supportive of it, and who will reach out and take some form of comfort or support or motivation from what you're saying. So how do we then focus on the people that matter and not on the people that, you know, don't, you know, have, you know, kind of feel sad for those people who judge? So again, just a few points. The first thing I would say is we got to, and I know this is not PC, but we got to grow a set and just get on with it. As Nike says, just do it. The first step in doing anything that you fear is to take one step in front of the other. We have to just take the first course of action. And that might be a little video or a little podcast with one, you know, or two. Share it within your friends that you know you'll be honestly judged on and supported by, and put it out there. So take the first step and actually record the video. I tell you what, for those people who are not sure about doing it, send it to me. Send it to Scott at scottewart.co.uk, and I'll give you some feedback on it and support, and you don't need to worry about being judged and laughed at or teased. Because after you do that, you'll realise it's not so bad, and you'll be able to then move on to the point that you're actually putting it out there for everybody to see. The second thing I would say is I would be empathetic, particularly towards those people who are being critical. I think back to the person that kind of gave me my social media anxiety. Do you know what? They meant no harm. They were probably, and I look now, they were probably suffering or do suffer still from their own problems and their own self-esteem issues. That I do know of. And so I actually feel bad for people that make these bullshit comments and tease and judge and just pass comment on people that are just trying to do better and progress themselves and develop themselves. I do feel bad for them. So just understand and see it from their side that, do you know what, they're probably suffering themselves, and it's probably just them projecting their views of themselves and trying to deflect onto someone else. So that's what I would say about them. Lastly is focus. Don't listen to anyone. They're not paying your bills. And I mean this, of course, from a negative sense. These people are not paying your bills or helping you reach your goals. And unless they are, I mean, those people that are supporting you and, along the way, great. But those people that are not, fuck them. They don't help you pay the bills, reach your goals, help your family, help your business, help you on your journey. So they do not matter. Okay? So focus on what you have to do. Do not be distracted by the naysayers. But understand and don't let them be discouraged. Don't let them discourage you, because the naysayers, you need to understand that it's probably just a problem in their part. And it's kind of, I feel bad for them. And take that first step in front of the other and just start recording. And more importantly, what I would say, just before I finish up, ladies and gents, is that if you are one of those people who support someone, especially someone putting themselves out there as a creator of sorts, and you like it, know that although I'm saying don't worry about this and don't hang about the naysayers and forget the bad comments, see when you do get someone that reaches out to you and has a positive thing to say or a question, it does incredible things. When you put that good sort of feelings out there to the world, you will receive them back. So if there's someone out there that you support, that you like, let them know. And I've done it a ton of times myself, and for me it is a great way of networking. So there has been sort of small creators or people putting videos out there, and you just see likes. So you often just see a like they've had so many likes, so many views, and like very little comments. And so I'll reach out to them publicly. I'll leave a comment for them. I know what it does for people, and so I'll leave a comment, and then I'll reach out to them privately, and I'll say, that was a great video, I like this part about this, I'm also interested in that, maybe one time we should catch up, something like that. Or I'll just ask them a direct question. If it's a property thing, we do a lot of buy to flips, not so much buy to lets. How is the buy to let market in that such and such area there? How many do you have? So how much is your sourcing fee? When is your networking event on? Who knows what it could be, but I will react. I'll send them a private message and I'll actually use it I'll use it to break the ice with them. So just know that if you put those sort of good vibes out, then you will get them back. I certainly do believe that they are. I want you to focus, I want you to take the first step, and I want you to realise, albeit, like I say, be empathetic towards the people that are leaving the bullshit comments, because there's no point being mad or angry at them. But I want you to realise that they don't actually matter. They're not going to help you get to your goals, and I want you to just do it. Those people that are being naysayers don't actually matter. But there is not enough people out there sharing some great stuff and being brave and going and doing that. So if you're thinking about doing it, go and do it. It's as easy as downloading some simple apps and recording. So that's it today for a little Saturday special. I hope you all have an incredible day. Any questions, reach out to me. You get us on social media. I am Scott Ewart on Instagram and Twitter, those places that I was once terribly scared of. I am much more active on them now, so reach out to me, let's talk, send me an email, scott@scottewart.co.uk, or lastly, if you just like the videos that we do, or you don't, you'll find them on YouTube under Scott Ewart. So for now, see ya.